this particular courtroom is how I see it. I'm going to find in favor of the plaintiff to the tune of $3,200.
My name is Glenn Titus Campbell, CVM. See it happen.
It's Thursday, October 3, 2024. This is CVM News at noon. I'm Nika Lewis. The Manchester North Operational Support Team conducted a snap raid at a local bar in the Pike community on Thursday morning. Reports are the operation resulted in the recovery of a 9mm single-action pistol found in a garbage bin, prompting further investigation into the establishment. During the raid, it was discovered that the serial number on the firearm had been erased, raising additional concerns regarding the legality of the weapon. The bar's owner was arrested on charges of operating without a spirit license and for exceeding permitted opening hours. As investigations continue, community members are being urged to report any suspicious activities in the area. Now, the People's National Party, PNP, has officially selected Isat Buchanan as its candidate for East Portland in the upcoming general elections. Buchanan replaces Colin Bell, who resigned last month, citing a lack of support. Bell was selected last August to challenge the governing JLP Member of Parliament, Anne-Marie Vaz. Buchanan says he aims to address pressing issues facing the constituency.
Taking to the table here, there's a problem with Blue Lagoon, there's a problem with education, economic growth, opportunities for the youth. So I'm listening to them and we're trying to find ways to fix those problems, finding solutions and ensure that every single person is included. That is what is most important for me right now.
Prominent attorney Bert Samuels says the decision by the Prime Minister to seek a judicial review of the finding and conduct of the Integrity Commission should be welcomed as a sign of a robust democracy. Speaking on Lead Story with George Davis last evening, Samuels underscored that the Prime Minister is well within his constitutional rights as a citizen of Jamaica to make such a move.
The Prime Minister has looked at the Integrity Commission law. And interestingly, although he's a member of the legislature, he's trying to say that the Integrity Commission law itself is faulty. The law passed by Parliament has defects, and it has breached his constitutional right, among several other rights. So it to me is showing, in some respects, what the separation of power is all about. A member of the legislature, one arm of government, is going to test by way of the courts another arm of government whether that Integrity Commission and its powers breach his right to fair hearings. And that becomes very, very interesting. It is exemplary of the rule of law that all citizens, be you Prime Minister, be you a member of the legislature, if you are affected by a legislation giving powers to an inferior tribunal, the Integrity Commission, you can challenge the law in a court of law.
Meanwhile, Samuel says the Prime Minister's argument that the IC allegedly withheld the sum of money being investigated for alleged unexplained increases in net worth may be potentially persuasive to the courts as a breach of due process.
As a criminal lawyer, I would use the criminal law to say that if you go to court, you must have a clear understanding of the charges against you. And if the charges are convoluted or they are not known to you, then you can cry that you have not been given a fair hearing because no one disclosed to you what you're facing. So every individual has a right to know what the allegation against them is. And that is the only time you can properly respond. So if it is that it is true, that he did not, and his mind was not directed to a particular sum of money, he may have a strong case. But then again, those are the facts. I'm not fully aware of them because law consists of two things. Very simple. The facts and the application of the law. So here it is, the facts are possibly in dispute. So the judge now has to determine in this hearing whether it is true or it is not true that he didn't get an opportunity to address that particular issue.
Residents of Milestone in Hanover have been left partially marooned due to flood waters which have covered their roadways. They say whenever there's a downpour, they are unable to leave the community, which connects them to other districts in the area. Councillor for the Chester Castle Division, Winter McIntosh, says he's liaising with community members to find a fix to their problem.
I get the concern of the citizens and know of the serious problem that they've been having over the years. So my visit here today is to meet with the resident and to see whatever we can do in the shortest possible time. Because whenever it rains, nothing can pass, not even vehicular traffic can pass. So you can understand the frustration and the agony that these residents have to go through. So as councillor, my representation has to be different. So immediately, I'm going to be making sure, having some discussion with the resident to have a short-term fix on this situation.
As climate change continues to engrave concern among world governing bodies, the Ministry of Health has plans to improve the healthcare system in becoming more climate resilient. Speaking at the 76th session of the Regional Committee of the World Health Organization in Washington, D.C. on Monday was Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton.
Part of the conversation here is around how climate change is impacting our health protocols and what are the new measures that we have to put in place. We are doing some things, for example, our smart health facilities in our health centers, where we are now doing things like water harvesting, putting in generator capacity, ensuring that the facilities are built in a particular way that they are not affected, or where we can enjoy cooler temperatures in our wait areas, putting in air conditioning units, for example, under Operation Refresh.
The National Housing Trust, the NHT, continues to design new ways to assist citizens with their home ownership plans. Now the agency is offering loans for interested individuals to build their dream home comfortably. Speaking on Sunrise this morning, Project Officer Jason Kemp listed the many options available for citizens seeking to build again.
The Home Builder Zone is offering to customers the opportunity to build from the standpoint where NHT is offering plans free of cost. Totally free plans. We have a range of plans which are free of cost that we offer to our customers, and we continue to do this. Additionally, we give all the costings for the plan. All the bill of content cost and estimate is offered with the plan, free of cost. So in other words, we are saving the customer that extra cost to go
get cost, right. Because so, you're going to get plans drafted.
Correct.
It's not $2 to do it.
And then to get bill of quantities is another.
So we have from the studio plans straight up to 3 bedrooms in 2 different types.
So how much money are people actually getting, Jason?
Currently, no, we are getting 7.5 is the maximum that we give to each customer based on affordability.
Yes.
And essentially this could give you about, say, roughly 630,000 square feet, 1 bedroom comfortably. And that's a good start. And you mentioned the home improvement, you can always add later on.
With that, we take a break. More after this.
Our days get a little complex sometimes. Often so many things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVM TV.
Can you read to me the nameplate?
Judge Ebony K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I'm going to find in favor of the plaintiff to the tune of $3,200.
Mommy, the third time nearly deaf with them old pat and pan there, no. Get up and go buy the letter for me, you see?
Yo, what's cracking the lacking and packing and macking? Fan Central Pitside, brought to you by Edgechem, AIM Financial Corporation, Texaco, and Connex.
Welcome back to CVM News at noon. It's time now for our discussion segment, which is a live segment. So the People's National Party, the PNP, the opposition in Parliament, they recently announced their newest candidate, Isaac Buchanan, for the East Portland seat. Now, with that happening, all of this means that he will likely be the candidate to contest the current MP, Anne-Marie Vaz. However, since the announcement, there have been some talks of lack of ethics and morals in the PNP camp, and the PNP have since made it clear that their stance is final. However, we have joining us for this discussion the PNP General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, to shed more light on why Mr. Buchanan was chosen to become the party's standard bearer for this seat. Welcome, Dr. Campbell.
Hi, good afternoon, and good afternoon to your viewers.
Thank you so much. Dr. Campbell, why was Mr. Buchanan chosen to run for as Member of Parliament, Member of Parliament of East Portland? Why him?
Well, in order for you to vie for the People's National Party, the first thing is that you need to be a member of the party. You need to have a political ideology and philosophy that aligns with the party. And you need to have support from the people from the area that you intend to run. The people of East Portland called for Isaac Buchanan. And when we did the soundings in the constituency, he has overwhelming support, and he has generated a tremendous level of excitement within the constituency. I went down there on Tuesday night to inform them of his candidacy. They asked when will he be on the ground. We decided there and then that he would be on the ground on Wednesday. And by Wednesday morning, you had several hundred persons out there waiting for him. That level of excitement does not exist anywhere else in any of the other 62 constituencies in the country. So the people have asked for it, and that is the reason why he was selected as a bona fide member of the People's National Party.
But I remember that the PNP had cut some ties with him back in 2023. So what would have motivated his return and at this level after such a disconnect?
Several persons would have left politics at a point in time. He wasn't removed from the party. He's always been a member of the party. There was an issue with an intemperate remark, and he stepped down as the chairman of the Human Rights Commission of the party. But he was always still a member of the party. I'm beginning to get a little bit concerned with how things are going on in Jamaica, because we're almost at a point where I see there are some members of the society that we judge them at their worst, and we use that moment to determine who they are for life. There is no redemptive quality that some persons see in people, no reason for them to be given a second chance. If that is the disposition of persons, then I think they should not offer themselves for leadership in this country, because we have a lot of persons in this country that need a second chance, need somebody that will believe in them and give them a second chance. And most of the people who are talking themselves have benefited from a second chance. When persons are young, they can make mistakes. There has to be some way in the society that we reform persons and for them to make a positive contribution. I saw a series on Netflix called Life that is similar to the life journey of Isaac Buchanan. This is the person that has represented several individuals